My name's Elena. As Andrew mentioned, I'm one of the co-organizers. I'm also on the steering committee for Civic Tech, and I'm going to give a little overview of what Civic Tech was up to in 2016 and what we're planning on doing in 2017. So for those of you who have been with us for a while, I hope it sheds some light on kind of a bigger picture of what has been going on, possibly while you've been focused on your own projects. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, I hope it's kind of a crash course / illuminating introduction about what goes on here. So, to start out, 2016 was great for Civic Tech Toronto. As a community, we really came into our own this year. And these are some of our milestones, is that we turned 1. We were founded in August 2015, so we celebrated our first birthday in 2016. We also grew quite a bit, so I listed some social media numbers. Meetup.com is important because that's where people find out about where we are. And also Slack gives an idea, how many members we have on Slack gives an idea of how many people are participating in sort of a hands-on project-y capacity. We also had record turnout of 80 attendees. That was our Hacknight in April with Jennifer Hollett. Shout out to her for being awesome. And also close second was Ryan Andersoff from the Treasury Board in November. We also were proud to have Civic Tech Toronto members speaking at conferences like the Ontario Nonprofit Network Conference, also City of Mississauga, here at U of T. These things I mention because they point to not only our growth, but also being recognized by the wider community as a source of smart people, interesting projects, etc. Another milestone that we're proud of is our first collaboration with the government in an official capacity. That was our Youth Employment Challenge that we ran in collaboration with Employment and Social Development Canada. There was also prize money involved, which was a first for Civic Tech. So, for those of you that haven't been to Civic Tech before, you probably saw on our little agenda for this evening, we have kind of 2 parts of what we do, presentations and projects. So in presentations, as kind of a category of how things went, we had 45 presenters in 2016. We're also kind of excited that more than half of those were women. We also feel that we maybe have room for improvement and looking forward to improving diversity across racial and ethnic boundaries in our future presenters. There's also a super wide variety of topics. If you didn't know, you can look at past presentations, like Andrew mentioned, we record them, and they're on our YouTube channel. So if you're curious about more specifics of what we've been up to in the past, you can take a look there. Ta-da! There's some cool pictures. There's Jennifer Hollett. High turnout. You can't tell from the photo. Projects are the other cornerstone of what happens at Civic Tech. I'm going to just quickly rapid fire a sampling of some of the mainstay projects that we saw a lot of at our Hacknights in 2016. This is not an exhaustive list. Some of the highlights have been Budgetpedia launching its version 0.1, so great work, Budgetpedia. We also heard a lot from Guerrilla Archiving, which received a ton of press, like really an astounding amount of press. As did Democracy Kit. They were also featured on my personal favorite, Metro Morning. And other projects that have been ever present have been City of Brains, the Toronto Public Library Resource Booking Tool, My Democracy with a Zero.ca, TO MeshNet. As you can tell just from a brief listing, there's such a wide variety of topics that people are addressing with their Civic Tech projects, and I think that's really exciting. here's some cool screenshots of some press that was received for Guerrilla Archiving and City of Brains. Another 2016 highlight was a day-long hackathon called Code Across. This is a hackathon that was run for International Open Data Day. So this happens in a bunch of different cities all over the place. It also happened here. The way it worked was that governments and nonprofits brought some challenges to the table, and then teams self-organized to work on solutions for those. And actually, a couple of different civic tech projects that continued to live on at the Hacknights grew out of this one-day hackathon. So it's kind of a spark moment for a lot of different civic tech things. Code Across will be happening again in 2017. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Actually, I'm going to talk about it now. It's on March 4th, so save the date. It's not that far away. We'll be sharing more details soon, but two things to know now are that we're looking for sponsors, or Code Across is looking for sponsors, and also looking for people to help organize. So if anyone's interested or has a sponsorship idea, please talk to Alex. Alex, can you raise your hand? Yay, thank you, Alex. So that kind of brings me to some behind the scenes stuff that we wanted to share. Civic Tech Toronto happens weekly as a result of many hands and organizers sharing responsibility for different Hacknight roles, such as emceeing, like Andrew's doing, updating our website, taking video, that sort of thing. This kind of nuts and bolts of what makes it happen. And we also have a steering committee. So the steering committee makes decisions about how we do things. And in September, Civic Tech had the first steering committee change since it started existing in 2015. So that has been a lot of learning has come out of that. One of the biggest things is a document or a piece called a theory of change. I'm just going to share this definition because I didn't know what a theory of change was. But it was created by the organizers to connect our activities to broader impacts that we have in the city. It helped clarify the purpose behind the work that we all do, and as far as we know, it was the first such a document created by a Civic Tech group, which is exciting for us. Leah, who's awesome, wrote a blog post about this in a lot more detail, so that's available online if anyone's interested. Also, it got retweeted by the Code for America founder, Jen Palka, so great work. Not ready for that yet. I'm gonna keep that for 1 sec. So one other thing related to our theory of change is that Gabe and Leah facilitated an unconference session about the theory of change at the Code for America Summit. And really, this clarified for us how Civic Tech Toronto is really part of a bigger movement. I wanted to make sure everyone in this room is aware that the Civic Tech movement is pretty big. There's roughly 140 communities such as ours in different cities all over the place. And at the summit, one learning was that Toronto is actually a leader in this community, which is super exciting. We have great regular attendance, which is largely due to awesome folks like you that keep showing up. And others look to us to learn how to do what we do. So I think that really solidified some momentum to keep going. The community is growing in Canada as well. So Edmonton has a strong group like ours, and Ottawa has a good one as well. So that brings me to what is coming up. Mentioned Code Across, super important. Hopefully, if it's anything like last year, it'll be a breeding ground for some exciting new civic tech projects that can keep on having a life at the weekly Hacknights. Like I mentioned, talk to Alex if you want to help get involved with that, or just save the date if you want to come participate. And we are also looking for people to help organize. So like I mentioned, we have weekly Hacknight tasks. There's also some long-term projects that we're hoping to talk to people about working with us on. If you're keen to help out, please talk to Leah, or talk to any of the organizers, really, myself included. And yeah, really, that's most of what we wanted to cover. Other than to say thank you, and that I really can't overstate the importance of how great everyone is here that shows up. It's something I hear week after week when people talk about why they come and why they stay. It's so much due to the strength of the community and how everyone is awesome at bringing their best work, being kind and constructive, and showing up, doing great work. So thank you. On behalf of the whole steering committee and all the organizers, thank you. That's just thank you.